to Stitches and Sundries. My name is Lauren. This is a podcast about cross stitch and stitchy goodness and whatever else I get into. As I said, my name is Lauren. I've got my order all mixed up. You can find me on Instagram at LaurenUpStitching. If you're new here, I've gotten a bunch of new subscribers recently, so thank you so much for finding me and joining me in the constant rewrite of my stitching schedule, which seems to be the only thing I do. And for everybody that stuck around to keep hearing about my stitching rotation, I really, really appreciate you. It's super fun to hear from you all. So, I just got back from, we'll call it vacation. It wasn't the most restful vacation in the world, you know, the kind of you need a recoup from your vacation. But it was a lot of fun. We got to meet up with some friends that are from Delaware, so we met like halfway, got an Airbnb, the most jank Airbnb. I'm a hotel girl. I like to be like, none of this is my problem. And everything was our problem at that Airbnb. But I really screwed up my shoulder because night one, going to bed, I fell down a set of stairs. Luckily, I just kind of like fell backwards onto my ass. So I've got a beautiful bruise. But I like I had a hold of the railing, so I caught myself and wrenched my shoulder like nobody's business. So now everything hurts because I am 35 now, so everything always hurts. So that was super fun. But other than that, we had a really great time. And I brought a bunch of projects to work on thinking, oh, here and there, maybe we'll settle down, watch a movie or something. I managed to stitch every day. I was super happy with that. Like we watched movies, we had downtime. We had, you know, things not everybody wanted to be involved in. We had just time sitting around doing nothing. And so I felt really great about that. And I'm off today. I took one extra day off after we got back yesterday. So I took one extra day off because I knew we'd need recuperating time, and I'm going to stitch today once I'm done with all this other crap I gotta do. So I've made really, really good progress. I have one new start and one, wait, am I missing something? Oh no, it's just very small and hidden. I was like, what the heck? One new start and 5 whip updates. That's pretty darn good for me. And then at the end, I have a little bit of stitching related craft, although it's not stitching craft. And then an unboxing of Black Needle Society's garden stitching box for March. So that'll be at the end, and I'll do a little review. Yeah. So let's get into it. Let's get started. Let's do stitching. Let's talk about cross stitch. So I'm going to try and start every podcast with an update on the big. And last episode, I talked about how my big focus piece, they're big for me, focus piece was this one here. This is Schoolhouse Sampler by StoneyCreek. I have to stitch on it at least a couple days a week until it's done. I'm stitching this as a gift, and I want it done as that gift. And I got a wonderful comment saying, just focus on the gift. Just focus on the gift. And I was like, it's the thing. It's the thing that's getting us through. Because I know it'll be worth it in the end. So this is where I was last time. And I have made really good progress. Unfold it all here. And this is where I am today. I can get it all up there. So I have completed all the back stitching on the apples and chalkboards. That was a really tedious thing to do. I've also finished all the back stitching on this scene with the children. That is all done. Tree is in, the hills are outlined. The picket fence, just watching that picket fence come into like existence because it was so blended into the background was very lovely. Same with the tree. The tree really pops now. And then I started stitching on the right-hand side, or I guess it's my left-hand side. I have no idea how this will appear on camera. I don't understand how cameras work. And to break it up, I started on that little vine down there at the bottom. So really good progress. I'm basically going to do stitch a little bit, back stitch a little bit, stitch a little bit, back stitch a little bit till I'm completely caught up on the back stitching, and I'll have the whole bottom done relatively quickly, I think. So if I just focus on this, it'll get done faster. The problem is I wasn't focusing on it at all. It would be my one that I would just instantly, as soon as something came up, oh, I can skip Schoolhouse, like Schoolhouse, and it just, I want it done. So really making progress on that. Pleased that my plan is working. Well, ha ha ha, my cross stitching plan. And yeah, it's coming along really pretty. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to save stitching the very last, kind of see here, but this says, I think it says like school established and then the year. I'm going to find out from my cousin what year she either started teaching or became a principal. And so I'm going to use that as the year. So that might be the very last thing I put in. Sorry. I also got a terrible cough while I was down there. Either because I came off my barren mountain where nothing is blooming yet. Like nothing is blooming. We have little tiny buds on some trees. To full on spring. Because we went down in elevation. Even a little bit. And the pollen was so bad there. Like my car is a different color now. Or I caught a cold because the house's environmental regulation was terrible. So one of those two things is true. Either way, I'm going to cough. And I'm going to do my best. I have my tea. I'm going to do my best not to cough in your ear. So then I have a bunch of whip updates. And I'm going to do a little one first of something I haven't seen for a little while. So we're driving back from our vacation and had on, I think it was just like a Spotify mix like of all my playlists. And one of the songs that played was Southern Sun by Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. It's one of my favorite songs. It was one of my mom's favorite songs. And so I decided to get the song lyrics back out. And I started on the song lyrics. For people that are new here, I am going to try, I just do it whenever I feel like it, when I have a moment or when something inspires me, to stitch song lyrics that are either very memorable or meaningful or interesting, and do a wall tapestry of them out of scraps. So if I have scraps that are semi-big that I think I can get a lyric on, I save them. Because that's a little, I mean, you could do maybe an ornament on this, but not much else. So I saved this, and I'm doing a lyric from the song Southern Cross by Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. And it's a very harmonized song. So I'm stitching oh, I didn't look up what font this is. I will tag what font this is because I used a lot of free fonts or Etsy fonts. So I'll tag what font this is if you like it. I'm using Witchy Stitcher's Death Before Decaf. Came in one of her her boxes, her Death Before Decaf box. It's a beautiful chocolate brown. And then whenever the harmony kicks in this lyric, I am using some silver filament to jazz up where all four voices would have come in. So. And so right there's a little more to this one. It says, and my love is an anchor tied to you, tied with a silver chain. And then it'll keep going. So there'll be 3 more lines. 4 more lines. And I left myself very little room, but I checked with my sister who is going to be sewing this together on her machine. And she said that's enough to use like a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I left enough. So, but it just fit. So really pleased with that. This will be the 3rd piece I have. When I get 5, I'm going to start piecing them together because I don't want it to be a perfect rectangle. I don't want it to be super planned and like, oh, it's made of scraps. So lots of sizes are going into it. Lots of pieces are going into it. The fonts I have range in sizes. So, you know, you might end up with a font that's like this you know, a lyric that's like this big and a lyric that's like this big. So I'm just going to go once I have, and every 5 I'll just add to it, I think. So that's kind of my plan. And then one of the fun things I'm going to do as well is put the Spotify scanning, the little wavelength scanner, on a piece in the corner so you can scan it and find the playlist with all the songs. I think that'll be really cool. I might put that like in our guest bedroom or in our living room where like you could walk by and scan it and see it. I think that would be really fun. So that is, I just started that last night because I heard the song come on the, not radio. And it inspired me to do that. So super fun. I'm enjoying that. One thing that does suck is French knots. I hate French knots. I cannot do them very well. And I have to do them for every dotted letter. Yay. Other updates. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 more whip updates. This one is Stegosaurus Skeleton by Happy Little Mouse. And this I'm doing as a stitch along with my girlfriends who are, I believe, making pretty good progress. I need to get an update from them. I need to have a Stitch and Bitch day where I can see where everybody is. And this is where I was last time. And this is where I am today. So I think, and of course in editing I would know, but now I think I finished all this down here. This pink wasn't finished and this wasn't all filled in. And then I got a lot of his plates done, only a little tiny bit left of the plates, and then the Stegosaurus itself will be done. And then I have all the plant matter on to hop to finish. But that's way less than the bottom. Like the bottom is way more filled in. So yeah, really coming along. This is such a cute stitch. I have another Happy Little Mouse stitch on my, like, I'm planning to start soon, probably in the coming 2 weeks. And they just write really nice patterns. They're just happy Little Mouse. They're just happy, colorful, easy blocks, no back stitching. They're just very nice patterns. So they also do lots of pattern sets. So like this was part of 6 dino skeletons, 3 spiders, 3, 6 moths, like lots of pattern sets. So you feel like you're getting, a complete work, which I really like. I like their stuff. They're very cartoonish is not the right word, but it feels kind of like that. Just like very illustrated. Maybe that's the right word. I'll do the new start last. So another one that I got a surprising amount done on down on vacation is this one. This is I Want to Believe by Alliton Embroidery. Oh, and I'm stitching this on, I think it's just 14 count Black Aida. Should say that. I'm stitching this one on 28 count black Cashel linen. And this is where it was last time. Try and rub out the wrinkles in the cat hair that's all over everything. And here is where I am now. So one thing that happened was I forgot this dark navy, if you can kind of see there, this dark navy that's supposed to fill in all the trees. I forgot it, so I had to work around it. So I started on the lettering and did a lot up here in the sky. A lot of the pink is done up here. Started this super bright blue. I think I got a little done down here, but then the trees started really needing done. So yeah, got a little progress. I think I did about, I don't know, almost 1,000 stitches on this one. It is going. It always feels like I make good progress. So it's kind of the opposite of some of the others where it doesn't feel like I'm making progress at all, but I am putting stitches in. This one I feel like I'm making great progress, and then the number moves like 2%. But it feels good, so it's better to feel good and not actually have progress than to feel bad. So yeah, coming along quite nicely. I really love the colors in this one. Just really liking it. And right about here is an alien spaceship that I really want to stitch on, but I don't trust myself to count up there too. So we'll get there. We're getting there slowly. The other thing is I left myself like no room. So stitching on the edge here is fun because I am like barely in the hoop. But I wanted to use up this piece, so I'm using up this piece if it kills me. Yeah, I'm really happy to be making, I was so shocked at the amount of progress I've been able to make. My third piece is Make Today Magical by Tiny Modernist, and she just released, I think right before I recorded last time, part 2 of the Sal. It's a 7-part Sal, so it'll be going on. But each part is pretty small, so I can finish them pretty quickly. After the first. The first was kind of chonky. And here's where I was. And that was at the end of part 1, so I started part 2. And here is where I got. So I am glad that I changed fabric because I don't think that triangle and circle would have showed up on my previous fabric that I had. But on the purple, it looks fantastic. And I started a moth over there. There's an eye in the middle of that circle. And then I'm pretty much done. Like there's the eye. Oh no, there is the phases of the moon right above it. There's the phases of the moon goes across the top. But I mean, doing pretty good. I'm a little concerned now that I didn't leave enough room at the top, but I think it'll be okay. I think I left 2 inches, and that feels like plenty to me. I should stop cutting my fabric, I'm starting to think. I should stop cutting my fabric so that I just have, you know, like people who work on like yards and yards of fabric and they just have like 3 or 4 or 5 stitches going. That's just going to become me because I'm too paranoid. So I'm very happy with that. I love Tiny Modernist stuff. And the more it comes together, the more I love it. And then part 3 isn't out until June. So once I'm done part 2, this will get obviously put away for quite a while. So I'll get some stuff done on other things. But it was really nice to have out. It also stitches up really quickly. It's another one that's just like potato chip. Just this one's like which one? I Want to Believe is kind of like a typewriter because you're just filling in with color. Big blocks, long stretches of color. This one is like I don't want to say touch typing because that's not the right word. Potato chip is the right word. Like crunch, 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 crunch. Little things are done really quickly. You feel like you're just like finished, 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 finished. Like making progress. So I love that. And then I have a new start. This was one of my planned new starts from last episode. This is Till Death by The Lonely Seaman. Put it there on Etsy. And since it's a new start, I don't have progress from last time. So this is where I am. Let me see if I can straighten out some of the wrinkles. So I am stitching this on, I believe this is 28 count, unknown fabric from the Village Sampler. I just went in and looked for things that I thought were big enough or remnants-ish stuff. I always love going through that stuff at Cross Stitch Tops. So I think it's going to be great. I also substituted the orange for the lime green, as you can see, which is my cousin's favorite This is a different cousin. My cousin Cassie is getting married in September, and this is a gift for her bridal shower. And yeah. So this is the woman's leg, arm, and foot. I'm loving this fabric. The bright splotches of white. The text down here is going to be in white. And then the skeletons themselves are going to be black. So they will really just, it'll really just pop. And I think it is perfect. Yeah, I mean, other than it is going to be the best wedding gift ever, and I hope to win at giving wedding gifts. This will be my second wedding gift. Oh, probably like 5th gift stitch, I think. Because I usually stitch for myself. I like stitching. I love my stitching, and I love having it up on my walls, so I stitch a lot for myself. But I have done several gift stitches, and it is the most satisfying thing in the world. I definitely have more lined up that I want to start. I think almost all of them are gift stitches, so it's super fun. Highly recommend it if you can. But isn't that lime green on that black and white like so good? So good. I was like waffling on whether to do lighter skeletons on a lighter fabric or darker skeletons on a darker fabric, and it wasn't how it would. I was trying to explain to my sister, who was helping me pick fabric, because I can't, colors and me don't mix very well. I wasn't like, I think one or the other will look good or bad. They will just have different vibes. Like the lime green skeletons on a bright, like hot, like a pink. Let's do a pink. Like the lime green skeletons on a pink background has one vibe. The lime green skeletons on a black background has a different vibe. Both could be beautiful. What vibe did I want to send as the gift? That was the hard part. And we decided on slightly more punk rock vibes, I think. Although hot pink and lime green would have also been very good, but I just didn't have any hot pink. That is my stitching update. That is everything I've gotten done, which is a surprising amount. I was really pleased. I put in probably, wish I had my tablet here, because I keep track of my stitch counts. I try when I stitch now. When I did Monogamous March, and I was just like, I have a deadline to reach here. I have something that needs done. I was able to put in 300 stitches a night. And to me, that seems really big. But once I started looking at it, I was like, you can reach that. Like, that is not an unreasonable amount to expect. I was comparing myself to people that could hit, 2,000 stitches on one project in, and I'm like, absolutely not, like never. But for my time availability, 300 stitches, whenever I sit down to stitch, 300 stitches is a perfect, like, you're pushing yourself to reach a goal, but you're not, it's not an unreasonable goal. It's like just enough motivation to get those extra couple things in before you go to bed. Which does make me stay up late sometimes, but I don't freaking care. And it doesn't make me feel so guilty when guilty's not the right word. When I take the night off to just play video games or something and don't do any stitching, it used to bum me out because it would really impact my my progress, because I was making kind of a little bit of progress here and there. Now I know I'm going to make really good progress consistently, so taking a night off doesn't impact things as much as it was. When I was only making like 180, maybe 110 a night, missing a night sucked. But it also made me, like, I wanted to have other hobbies. I wanted to do other things. So, I don't know. It's made it better somehow. Doing more work has made things better. I don't know why. But yeah. So, I have a little bit of stitchy craftiness to show you, and then a bit of haul slash review slash unboxing of Black Needle Society's garden stitch box. So I wanted to show off this. This is my newest finished floss book. I took this from Audrey at Stitchy Witch 42. She was selling them on Instagram. I loved the concept and started trying to do them myself. And I love them. They are great. This is a big improvement from my first one. My very first one that I did, I didn't have good glue, didn't have good things to do, and so I Mod Podged the whole darn thing to keep everything down. And the glossiness of the Mod Podge has caused other problems. So now I'm approaching it more like paper crafts than like, I don't know what than not any kind of approach I had before. And so this one, I'll hold this up so I can show it to you. So almost all of this is from thrifted materials. So this background, I found like a scrapbooking kit that was like half finished at a thrift shop, and just bought it up for the couple pieces of cardstock and things in it. These are cutouts from a Myths and Legends adult coloring book I found at Goodwill that a kid had like full on scribbled in half of it. I got it for 25 cents, and some of the pages are still really good. And these are little just scrap bits from packaging and things like that. This was in a Jurassic Park coloring book that we had for when kids came over. A bit of, I think this is a page from a Sherlock Holmes book that got water like messed up that I just hadn't thrown away yet. This is my favorite piece. This is from a postcard of a famous painting that my sister had that she was going to throw away. And so I love her just standing in the woods with a filing cabinet. I think that's cool. And I put closures on mine because they're so full they will burst open and be useless. So I put a closure on it. But I didn't want to put a piece of Velcro or something right here in the middle of my beautiful lantern. So instead, it is a full wraparound closure with just a bit of ribbon that I had. And this one holds all of my like one-of-a-kind or harder to find threads that I get from like boxes or kits, things like that. So for instance, the Death Before Decaf from Witchy Stitcher, that would get stored here. And yeah, and so I just use a little bit of washi tape to keep the bag, because I want to be able to open the bag and put things in and out. So I don't like putting it through the hole that the floss bags come with. And yeah, you can see the label and everything. I love this thing. I was so proud when it turned out nice. And then we're done. And Velcro it back together. And there's room for it to expand still. Hopefully I don't have much more than this. I need to start using some of it. I'm bad about things that are like special. Like if it's special, one of a kind, you're not gonna find it again. I'm like, oh, do I really want to use it? What's the point of having it if you don't use it? So yeah, if you like a little bit of paper craft, or you're trying to find a way to organize some of your cross stitch supplies, these are super fun. Sorry, I'm trying not to cough. So the last thing I have is an unboxing from the Black Needle Society. One thing that kind of sucked, and I'm trying not to let it color my thoughts on the subscription box in general. I'll probably do at least one more box just to get a better feel for it, is they had a vendor not be able to fulfill the volume that they thought they were going to be able to fulfill. So they were going to include a little stained glass flower charm in this one. And the person was unable to provide the volume that they needed for their subscribers. And so they reached out. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that technically, other than vet your vendors a little better. But they reached out and were like, you're not going to be getting something. So we've decided to give you a gift certificate to our store. And the advertisement of the box is that you're paying $70 for like $180 worth of stuff, right? They refunded us $6. And it was just, and I get that that was their cost, but that's not what those things sell for. Definitely not. So it just felt like a little bit of a cop-out there. And I'm also missing part of my box. So I have to reach out to them and say, like, I did not receive one of the items that, and the only reason I know that I didn't receive part of my box is because people are posting pictures on Instagram now and I'm missing an item. So I understand that there was a lot of chaos, obviously, in this box because of the vendor. So that's why I'm, like, holding judgment. Like, I don't want that to color my opinion of it. But just some things I've noticed. They also have this huge wait list. Like, I have been on their wait list for months, maybe even a year. And for something that big and that, like, boutique and, you know, what's the word I want? Exclusive, I would expect something a little better. It's also one of the more expensive subscription boxes, like not one-time limited edition boxes. That's a different thing. But for a subscription box, it's one of the bigger ones, like $70 every other month. Or it's almost $80, I think, every other month. I would just expect a little more. So, there you go. So, what was included? The theme of this one was garden stitching, which is a very wonderful theme, perfect for spring, for March. And got a really cute little pattern for a garden box. Multiple patterns and they recommend that you can't, or they don't recommend, they tell you where to get this box from and everything. It's very cute. I can see using these patterns, not for this thing in particular, but I can see using these patterns. They're very cute. This I freaking loved. Finished project stickers to put like on the back of your finished project. So title, designer, stitched by, and date you stitched it. I think that is brilliant. That is something I'm definitely going to include on all my finished projects now. I'll probably design some of my own. It also reminded me that in 2023, I'm going to try and sign all my work, like stitch my initials into the bottom. It's something I've like been like, oh, I've seen people do that. And now I'm like, maybe that's something I should be doing, especially with the, like I entered something in the silent auction for work. Oh, which did do okay. It did $15. Not terrible. It did, shoot, I should have signed that. And that's what made me think of it. Bookmark with a flower that is full of wildflower seeds, so you can plant and the seeds will grow. Very cute. Teeny tiny scissors. I believe these are airplane compliant as well. Super cute. Just going through the little stuff. This is a little flower needle threader, one of the little wire ones, a little flower shape. This is a little snail that holds your tea bag from falling into your cup. I have a couple of those, so I recognize them immediately. Really pretty. If I've waited just a little bit longer, really beautiful. Hydrangea 16 count Aida. I'm trying to, I did not get to choose the count of my fabric. Like, you know, some boxes are like, you know, you can choose a low count or a high count. There wasn't anything like that. So it's all been 16 count. But gorgeous from Fiber on a Whim. And I really like their stuff in general. Like, I've got a couple Fiber on a Whim fabrics. Very, very pretty. Try not to glare you to death. Gotta open. Sorry for crinkles. Jesus. The most closed little baggie. A very cool needle minder that looks like a packet of a vintage packet of seeds. Super cute. And it says it has the Black Needle Society silk rose at the bottom. Since my camera will not zoom in if I try. Those kind of items are what I look for, like specialty. The stickers are great, fabric, needle minders, that kind of thing. I love that kind of stuff in a box. 3 skeins of Forbidden Fiber Co. threads. One of mine is misnamed. So we've got Wildflower, The Secret Garden, which is this gorgeous multicolored rainbow, and another one called Wildflower. I think that one's mislabeled. I think this one is, I think I've seen in other places, it's like Orange Blossom. Gorgeous threads. Absolutely lovely. And so springy. Like, everything in this just makes me ready for everything to bloom and kill me with pollen. I am ready for it. Get in there. And then lastly, the thing I think I'm missing is either another pattern, or it might just be a booklet of some kind. So I can only speak to what I received. And I received a box that is apparently impossible to open. Hang on. Whew. Is this awesome mug. How cute is that? How perfect is that? My sister already claimed it. And it says, "Who let the frogs out?" And it has a little frog on it with mushrooms. Very cute. Love the flower pot shape. Very nice, sturdy mug. So, super cute. And that is everything that I received. The excuse me, sorry. Overall, I would say it's a pretty nice box. Like, the mug is especially like the thing that gives it the value. The mug and the custom fabric, custom needle minder, is the thing that makes it really special. The pattern is very nice. Doesn't seem I am pretty sure this is not even an exclusive pattern. I think she has other ones for other seasons. To go with this box, this thing. A single pattern, not an exclusive pattern. It's, I would say, a quality, I would say it's a pretty high quality box. But I might just save up and do some limited edition boxes instead. Unless you like super love a theme. They also do special edition boxes, like a Halloween box, which I did sign up for. I think they do a Christmas box or a Christmas Advent box, things like that. That being a subscriber, like an active subscriber, does give you a benefit to receive those. Like, you get a chance to order before everybody else does. I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. It's nice, but I've had nicer, but I've spent more. So I don't know. It also might be because I don't have the complete thing in front of me to say, like, wow, it just like bowled me over. So I'm going to reserve my judgment. Apparently not very well though. So yeah, if you're looking for subscription boxes, get on their wait list. It'll take at least a year. So maybe not a year. I think mine was like 9 months. Because you have to wait for somebody to unsubscribe. So there's that. That is all the updates I have. It is I'm hoping to keep up with the good progress. Hoping to make more progress on Schoolhouse and the various other projects that I have going. Probably going to have another new start in the next couple weeks. Yeah. Is springtime killing all of you? Because it's killing me. I'll be back in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and listening to me rant and rave. So, stay safe, stay sane. See ya.